This is Zoom 101, dun dun dun, with Google Slides. My name is Jackie Robinson, and I have been a high school choir director. I've been a high school school counselor. I've been an elementary school counselor. I've been a middle school and elementary music teacher. I've run the gamut of music and counseling, but I've also worked in higher ed, throwing events for 500 or more all the time. But I have found my comfort zone teaching online. I've been online teaching for 2 years with VIP Kid, and I've taught over 5,000 one-on-one classes, over 500 classroom classes with the rural education program. I, along with all of the other admins in this group, we run a group called the Google Slides for VIP Kid, and there's 38,000 teachers in there. So we felt like we have a little bit of knowledge that we can share with classroom teachers in this time of need, and hopefully we'll be able to answer some questions for you. So let's go ahead and get, well, let's see, who else do I have in here? I have Heather, I have Christina. Is Kristen in here? I feel like I saw a Kristen, but I'm not sure if it's that Kristen. Maybe, yeah, Kristen's in here. So there are 3 other admin in here. If you have a question, type it into the chat and they'll be all over it. So I am going to kind of ignore chat unless I can see Heather right now. I can't see any of the others, but Heather, if you wave at me, I will stop, pause, and go back or whatever is needed. So first of all, what is Zoom? Zoom is kind of like a live video call, or kind of like making your own video, your own like YouTube video. It's really simple, actually. If you use FaceTime on your phone, if you use a video phone call on your phone, it's the same thing, but it's on the computer, actually, or it's on your phone or your iPad or whatever. For what you're doing, you'll probably want to use a computer, but you don't have to. You can schedule meetings for your class to attend, and you can send them the link. You can send them the link. It's not hard to do, and you can schedule all of these meetings like a week in advance if you wanted to, or you could. Oh, and the link to the recording is available after you are finished. So that's super nice for you to just send out and be done. You can record your lesson in advance and then send the link afterward for your students to watch. You can share what's on your computer screen, like what I'm doing here, with your students. You can record yourself, or you can just chat like we're doing. I don't have to be screen sharing. We could do just like we were doing at the beginning, where there was everybody on the screen and we could just have a conversation. And I know that is so important. So VIP Kid, where I teach, is with Chinese students. And what is so important that we found is that they just want to talk to someone. So it is very important to try to build this discussion into what you're doing, because the isolation is real after a while. So how to use Zoom? Step 1, sign up with your school email. You can do that with a school email, or you can just do it with the basic plan of Zoom at zoom.us. They're free. You get 40 minutes of free chat time, and you can just use it. There's an app you can use on your iPad if you're more comfortable using your iPad for things, and that's fine. But use the computer, use the web version to like actually make your meetings, because you will have more options available in there to control your settings and whatnot. So at least start your meetings, at least schedule your meetings in your computer, just so you have those extra controls at the beginning. So step 1, done. You've signed up, bam. It's just like signing up for like a Netflix account or Amazon or whatever. It's signing up for an account, and then you're in. Start meeting, and it's that easy. It will give you a link that you can send out. It's literally that easy. So let's go with step 2. Will you record a lesson or invite students to join you live? So these are all things that you need to think of. I think I've got 5 things about what you need to think about before you do this. Recording a lesson, pros and cons. I have one of each, and then I'll open it up maybe. So a pro, record anything you want and then send it out. Done. You can record your lesson at 10 o'clock at night because you don't want to teach tomorrow. Record it at 10 o'clock tonight. Schedule that to go out at 9 a.m. Done. A con, no interaction for the students. What are some more pros and cons that you can think of? You can unmute yourself if you'd like to talk.
Hi, this is Deepthi. I teach for our Sunday mission, and we volunteer there for kids. The only challenge that I face is when many students join the call, there is a network issue and the Zoom lags. There's a performance degrade on Zoom when more than 5 or 6 kids join the call.
That, I think, unfortunately, that's on your end. I have been in Zoom chats with 100 people and there's no lag. So
there's no lag. Oh, okay.
So make sure you're plugged in. Make
Sure.
sure you're plugged in and not using Wi-Fi. Make sure you're close to your router. These are all things that can help you with that.
Okay.
But yeah, that's actually a really true thing. Not everyone has great internet when they're at home, or when they're at school, the internet's usually okay, but we're all at home right now. So you may live in the sticks and may not have great internet.
Yeah. Thank you.
One of the other things I see listed in here is the students being inappropriate in chat or on screen. Absolutely. Luckily, you have the make the student leave button that you can click. You're also recording it, so making sure they know that in advance. For them knowing that they can get in trouble still, that's usually a pretty big deterrent. Not for all, but you know, it's it's something. You teach kids, it's just going to happen. All right, so let's move on to recording live or teaching live. Pros and cons. The pro, great, social interaction, awesome. You're actually knowing what they have questions about and being able to adapt to that as you're teaching, just like a classroom. Con, privacy laws. You can't necessarily send that out if there's students in there because the students are in there. Privacy laws say you can't really do that. Another major con is that not everyone has the internet yet. So if that's not something that your school is able to require, you're going to have to come up with another way for that person to get the lesson information. What other things? What other things are a pro or a con for live teaching?
If somebody misses the live, it's recorded. Can you link it to your Google Classroom?
You can, but again, privacy laws, I've heard a couple of teachers already mentioning that their administration will not allow that because the students' faces are in it.
Right, that's true.
Yeah, so you're going to have to just talk to your administration and where they feel comfortable. I'm feeling that if you ask them, they're going to say no.
We are allowed. We are allowed to link it in Google Classroom because it's
private.
Only people. The only people on it are the only people in that classroom group. Awesome. So they're the only ones that have the link. Awesome. We're allowed to do that. But yeah, okay. I check with your administrator.
Yeah. Before you link. Yeah.
Another thing you can do, I don't cover this in here, but as far as this privacy law and stuff like that goes, if you go to like you see this string of videos within our Zoom right now, you see all the different people in here. Go, put your mouse over your picture. There's 3 dots. You can go to rename. And you can rename yourself. There's a way to do that. So that's another way to take out their last names so you can only see their first names, just for a little bit of extra what if it gets out there sort of thing. Yeah, Heather just wrote a really important thing. Also, another help with lag is to use the Zoom app and not your browser. I'm using the Zoom app on my computer. I have it on my computer. It is definitely more stable than that's what it's built for. All right, going on. Step 2 for making decisions. What will you do for your background? Oh, I don't want them to see my kitchen, or yes, do what Karen's doing. I see a few of you have, a great background already. Go to your, actually, we're going to cover this in detail. So these are just things that we're thinking about right now. This is the detail. Go to where it says unmute and start video. Like if you hover your mouse at the top or the bottom of your screen, it'll pop up. It's usually hidden until your mouse hovers there. So once it pops up, hit this little guy right here, this little up arrow. You can either choose video settings or choose a virtual background. Yeah. Once you're there, this screen will pop up. So virtual background, it's in the settings. You can choose any of these that you want. There's these top 3 in here when you first start. I've added a couple. I've actually added a whole bunch of them since I made this. But you can choose as many backgrounds as you want. And it's, it's super easy to use. It's green screen that, without any extra tools at all. So your students do not see your kids fighting in the background or your dog doing, licking, or who knows what's happening in the background that's distracting or that you don't want them to see. So choose this, use this. It's a simple thing. Yeah, you can add your own pictures to it. Super easy. All right. Zoom and meeting settings. These are also very important. First, choose your camera. I see you in here now. You've chosen a camera. You're great. In here, you see that I have chosen my ManyCam camera because this is the camera that I use every day. I'm just using my laptop or my external. I have 3 cameras technically. I have my laptop camera that's built in. I have an external camera because I do this every day and need a better camera than my laptop provided. And ManyCam is actually just a program and it takes over the camera. So those are my cameras. I have 3 different cameras to choose from. So today I have chosen a different camera because I'm just using my background in Zoom. One thing that gets people a lot is disable this enable mirror effect. If you hold something up and it looks backwards to you, your students will still see it correct, but it will drive you bonkers that you cannot see it correct. Uncheck that enable mirror effect. And I just want to point out to touch up my appearance. Yeah, go ahead and click that because duh, right? These are all other options that you may or may not want to mess with. It's up to you. I can make this much, much harder, but I'm trying to keep it 101, okay? You can beginning meeting options for when you are making your meeting, when you are scheduling your meeting. Mute participants upon entry. I had that checked for you guys because who knows what loud music or barking dog or who knows what's going on in the background. So if everybody is muted and they have to manually click unmute, they'll kind of quiet things down before they do that. And you also have the option as the host to either mute or unmute people. All right, so now we're going to talk about some other things that are a little bit more dicey. Join before host versus the waiting room. I had enabled join before host for all of you guys because you're teachers. I don't need to have you all queued up in a waiting room until I get here just so I can monitor what you're saying and whatnot. The only problem with that is with this enable waiting room is that anytime someone gets kicked out and comes back in, you have to manually let them back in while you're in class. So you have to notice that something just like flagged for you and you have to notice that someone's waiting. That's the only bad thing about it. but I think it's maybe a little bit better than allowing them to chat beforehand and who knows what beforehand. Record the meeting automatically. If you are not needing to record it, don't. However, you have kids in there, who knows what they may do. I recommend always recording it just so you have a record of what happened. And that's just my opinion about documentation from a school counselor. All right, is there anything in chat that I need to be let's see. Can you have cameras turned off just like you can? Yeah, you can. Let me see. Karen, let me see if I can turn off your camera. Ooh, Karen, I'm sorry, I stopped your video. Okay, you can put your, can you turn your camera back on? Ask to start video. I have asked you, Karen, to start your video back. Ah, so yes, you, I've actually never used that. I only work with adults when I use Zoom, so I've never turned someone's camera off. But yes.
I couldn't start it until you asked.
Very good to know. We are all learning here. I will not ever be a Zoom expert, but I've used it enough to be able to show you how to use it, in and out of how you use it. Can you uncheck? Hi, Dale. Dale is a former student from like 15 years ago. I'm not old. Can you uncheck the enable waiting room after you start the class? I am not sure if you can do that or not. I think it is a meeting setting that you put in effect beforehand, but honestly, I don't know the answer to that. I will need to get back to you, or maybe.
I think the last time when I tried it, and that was actually set up, and I think Megan was she went into our account to try to change the setting while I was teaching, and it still wouldn't, like I had to still let a couple people in just for that duration of that meeting. I don't think you can change it in the moment. Yeah.
I agree with that. I remember that. I think it is something that you check at before you start the meeting, and you have, that's it. That's your what you're stuck with. Heather, is there any other questions in the chat that I need to address? We good? Okay. All right, basic meeting how-tos. I'm giving you 3 levels. So you can start at level 1 and just ignore 2 and 3, or you can go up to level 2 and ignore 3, or you can do all 3, okay? So I'm giving you 3 levels of using Zoom today. All are still kind of basic, but they will all be really super helpful also. First, Chatbox. We've all found the Chatbox, right? However, you maybe didn't find these 3 little dots, and these are blurry because I've blown them up so much from the small picture, the screenshot that I took. You find the 3 little dots. This is something that teachers are posting in other groups that they're having trouble with, because if their kids can chat with people publicly and privately, all these little private chats, and maybe harassment or bullying or who knows what is going on. So make sure you put something other than this last one. So they can either chat publicly with everyone, they can either chat only with you, they can send you only a message, or they're just not allowed to chat. They can raise their hand and say it with their mouth, Those are the 3 options that you should use as a teacher. This bottom one, where they can private message their buddy who's, hey, let's do this, or that's only going to be bad. Okay, so make sure you change that with these little 3 dots right there. The raise hand button. Who wants to raise their hand? Who can raise their hand? Who can do it first? Christina Hayes wins wins nothing. Sorry, Christina. So it is, if you go up to where your toolbar comes down, like move your mouse around so where your toolbar comes, it is up in there. Go to I think it's in the more section. 2 participants have raised their hand. Yes. I don't see it because I'm the host. In an iPad, you go to you go to the More button. So that's why I think on a computer you also go to a More button. When I was doing this, I also had my iPad open, so I was a guest for one and a host for the other. So when I was the participant, the guest, I clicked on More, and that's where it is. All right, has everyone found it? Karen is still not finding it. So Karen, move your, or anybody else, move your mouse. You see my mouse? I'm putting it up here. You cannot see my toolbar come down because I'm the host. However, there's a toolbar that comes down. Do you see where it says mute, stop video, all of this other stuff that's up there? Does your toolbar come down? I can't. There. Okay, say it again. Now you're unmuted.
For me, that's on the bottom. I
Okay.
can see mute, stop video, invite, participants, share screen, chat, record, and reactions.
Okay.
I
Are
don't
you on a
see-
computer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Participants.
Go to participants.
Okay, I'm on participants.
I hear the word participants.
I don't have a choice where to raise my hand.
Ah, so let me.
There's a little hand picture, like right
No, I see a
On-
picture on by some other people that
on
their hand is up.
participants itself. I put a picture in the chat box. Can you click that?
Hey, Jackie, she said that she has a reaction.
It's not letting me open it.
Yeah, I need to stop this share and do a different share of just my screen.
Did you say you had a reactions button?
In the bottom menu, yes, I have a
Okay.
reactions button.
Click on that.
It has thumbs up or clap.
That's what. Click clap.
You can't see my meeting controls even when I do it like this. So I'm no help as a host right now. Oh, yes, I am. So I have you open on my iPad also. If you go to More.
I don't have a more.
You don't have 3 dots on the More?
Not,
you don't have
not
3
in the
dots?
toolbar,
Oh. Can you, so go to Manage Participants. Are you able to do that? Or
Not
participants?
manage participants. I can click on participants.
So can you see everybody's name?
I see, yes. Yes, I can see everybody's names.
So if you go to your name.
Now I see raise hand.
Yes. Where did you find it?
It's at the bottom of the list of participants' names.
Okay. There we go. Awesome.
Okay.
So there's the raise hand, and there's a couple other things in there and more if you want to use those features. Hi, Yvette. I see you raise your hand. The next thing is speaker view versus gallery view. The gallery view is when we see the grid of everybody. Speaker view is when, let me stop share so you can try this right now. So in the top right-hand corner of your screen, it says speaker view or gallery view. Click it. Oh, Karen was the last one who spoke, so she's big right now. Hi, Karen.
Oh, I'm not big. I'm not big on mine.
Well, you are big on mine because you were the last one that spoke for me. So someone else say something.
Hello.
Oh, hi, Claudia. You are big on my screen now. Okay, so
Okay,
this is gallery view versus speaker view. All right, I'm putting you back in gallery view and going back to my slide. All right, so that's the difference between gallery view and speaker view. If you want to use, sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, why am I so big? And I forget that I can click gallery view. And sometimes your students will need to know that option too. So if they're like, why am I always so big? Just tell them to click gallery view and then they can see everybody. Screen share. This is a big one for what we're doing. You can screen share a whiteboard. Let's do that. I am going to stop this share and to share my whiteboard. All right, who wants to draw? Well, actually, I can draw. I can stamp things. I'm going to stamp these little arrows. I'm going to draw a square. Oh, someone's saying hi. Hello. This is the fun part. I don't know who did that. So you can spotlight, like you can use your mouse to spotlight things, or there's an arrow to spotlight things. You can write text. Again, there's little stamps all over the place.
How do you get permission to draw on the screen? Nothing happens when I move my mouse around, drag my mouse.
You select annotate. Ooh, Shauna was the one that wrote hi.
Where is that?
Beautiful. So go up to your toolbar again.
Uh-huh.
And choose annotate.
Again, is it in the, I'm not seeing it, of course.
Maybe it's whiteboard. View options. Oh, view options.
Annotate. Yep, it's in view options.
Thank you, Shauna.
We go. Yay.
Yay. So, I mean, your students can be doing some interactive things with you.
Cool.
Again, you got to trust your kids. Remind them that things are getting recorded. I am going to clear viewers' drawings. So anything that you guys drew, it's off my screen now. Or it's off everyone's screen. You can clear all drawings, just my drawings, or just the participants' drawings. So that is one way that you can use a whiteboard. Another fun thing is you can draw on the screen. Who wants to just draw on this screen? Can anyone draw on this screen? Just try it out. Anybody can try it out. That way you know what your kids are able to see when they do it. Wow, teachers, this is beautiful.
And then I just hit trash.
If you want to erase what you've got, you hit trash.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, I see Shauna has an arrow. Ooh, are you using like an arrow, like the arrow button or something, like the follow my mouse? I see that, Mercedes. Awesome. So you can see that if students are doing that. All right. So I'm going to move on, but feel free to do this on another slide so you know all of the tools that are available. I'm not kidding. Use it on other slides if you want to. All right. Oh, so I just changed slides and that stayed. That is something to note. So I'm going to clear all drawings for now, but continue to do it on the top or sides or whatever so you know what's going on. You can show participants your screen through the share button. Do you see the share button on your toolbar that pops up or down? Yeah, it's usually green, like what's on the picture here. On this picture here. Ooh, I'm going to use a spotlight. Here is the picture for share. When you do that, you can see all the things that are open on your screen. So when I took this, when I was taking this screenshot to show you, I had the Zoom meeting open and obviously didn't have it done at the time because it's all empty. I had a folder open. I had, and I had Zoom going and I had something else. I had my backgrounds open. So, so these are all the things I had open on my computer. There's also, this is where you choose the whiteboard. So it's just a white screen where you don't want them to write on maybe what you've got on your screen share, but you just need a white, something white, plain for them to use. Now there is an iPhone and iPad option here. I've honestly had so much problems with it that I don't recommend using it. Like my computer freezes when I try to plug my stuff into it. I needed to download something. Like honestly, try it if you want to, but do it before class. I haven't had a whole lot of luck with it, I guess. So participants, here's a biggie. Participants can also choose to screen share. The host just stops sharing, and then the participant can choose to share using the same directions that you do, just by pushing that share button. Now, you don't want them to do this in certain circumstances. There are many students, like elementary kids or like an honors English or something, that it's probably okay for them to do this. Many classes, probably not. Like, that's just the nature of it. Some things to think about, though. There's a really bad thing going around now that's called Zoom bombing. If somebody wants to, they can put really bad stuff on your screen, and you just you have to know how to handle it. So beforehand, this is one of those settings that you do before you start your Zoom. Who can share? Host only or all participants? Do you want them to be able to share their screen to be able to, you know, figure out what they're doing wrong on their math homework or whatever? Or do you want to not just have the host do it? And who can start sharing when someone else is sharing? Host only all the time for teachers. So if you are sharing your screen, that means that they can't say, I want to share now, so bam, look at this. No, if you're sharing your screen, you want to be the only one able to do that. Yeah, there's just some really ugly stuff going on right now. If you post a link publicly, that's not a good idea at all. There's trolls out there bored at home who are just waiting for these Zoom links to be posted so they can, you know, wreck your day. All right, using Zoom and Google Slides, this is where myself and the admin come into play, because we love using Google Slides. We've pretty much hacked them to not be anything that you've seen before with a PowerPoint type program. But first of all, if you would like to use your Google Slides, make a slide, and then up in the URL button, we recommend using preview mode. So go up to your URL, find where it says the word edit, kind of near the end of your URL. It's really long. So in the URL, find edit, and then highlight edit to the end, and just replace it with the word preview. Okay. Or you can just use present, and that's okay too. It's not a big deal. But you need to put it in a preview or present mode. And then when you have it open, you click this little button down here that makes it go full screen. So let me get mine out of full screen. This is what it looks like if it is not in full screen. Actually, I can go back. Oh, no, I can't. This is where I'm talking about. So right here where it says preview, I have found the word edit, and I've highlighted all of this to the end. I've taken it off and just put preview in. And now it's in preview mode, which means the little toolbar, instead of popping up in Google Slides, it's stuck down here on the bottom. And also you can use this little highlighter red tool to highlight your mouse. I've got it going on and annotate right now, and it's basically doing the same thing. Anyway, so this making it, using this little square right here, makes it full screen. So that way your URL and everything else, it just looks nicer. You know, it looks more professional. So then you go to, so after you have your Google Slide open, you go to Zoom and click screen share. You choose the one that has your Google Slide open, your Google Slide like showing. You choose that one, and then you put it in full screen, okay? So yeah, that's how you show Google Slides, haha, in Zoom. You can highlight your mouse by clicking this. I just mentioned it a minute ago, but it's kind of a game changer. So they can see what you're talking about, because like I can say, did you look at this or this or this? And you're like, I don't know what you're talking about. You're pointing the wrong way. Like it's crazy how different online teaching is. So with Google Slides, another option is to use your phone or your mobile device. I don't actually have one open, but I will get one open right now. Oh, geez. So I thought I had one open. I didn't. The last thing I had open is, how old is Arnold Schwarzenegger? What's happening? Okay, here's the screen share. if screen share is too much technology for you, that's okay. Just don't open it. It's not a big deal. Just use your mobile device, okay? I am opening it right now on my phone, and I'm going to show you, even though I'm in a small little box, how you can use Google Slides on your phone and people can still see it. It kind of looks like this. Just open it on your mobile device, phone, tablet, iPad, whatever. I personally prefer using my phone because my iPad is just kind of big and bulky. I'd rather just use something small. So oh, I just closed it because I'm okay. Anyway, this is what it looks like when you use your phone or your iPad. If you just want to show a quick, if you're teaching your students, you just want to show a quick thing, you can just hold it up really big like this. They can see it. They can see exactly what you're talking about. All right, now I have it open again. All right. Some of the options that we've got going on in Google Slides that you can use in your classroom, super helpful. The calendar, okay? Science, you can use it for science by putting a GIF in, or a GIF, whatever you want to call it, in as, you know, a science lesson. Phonics, helping with phonics, you know, the long U, the anything with phonics, anything with words, you can be putting in a Google slide. Obviously, it's easy with grammar and usage. They are a great visual. So you can speak it all day long and they can understand it, but they are bored. Hold up your Google slide and show them how interesting this learning can be online when you're not just like hovering over them to make them, you know, not fall asleep, or, you know, who knows what's going on with their little worlds. Some more things that are fun is using these as just engagement and reinforcements. Okay, so pick a number over here. What number is it? Oh, $20. What is 20 plus? Okay, you got 20 this time. Okay, you got 10 next time. What is 20 plus 10? Or what's 20 times 50? Use it however you need to, like whatever, use it for however you want. Here's mine that I finally got pulled up because I don't know why I'm being super just weird about it. Okay, so what number would you like? What number? Ooh, I want to choose 12. Here's 12. Ah, what is this? It's an elephant and a butterfly? What? What would you call this? If you were to make up a new word, what would you call this? How about butterfant? Or, ooh, how about elefly? Where does an elefly live? What do they eat? You can go on and on and on with so many of these fun tools, fun pictures that you find on the internet, or an interesting GIF, whatever. And, you know, run with it, make it interesting for them. You know, sometimes maybe they find a star and wow, we got a star. I'm going to take one question off of the homework because we found a star. You can take up to 5 questions off of your homework assignment for how many stars we find today. You can use these in so many different ways to motivate them, to keep them engaged, and just to, I don't know, make it more fun. They're sitting at home. They're going to be bored out of their gourd real quick. All right, finally, about making decisions. I do want to say this as a former school counselor. Parents may be feeling a bit overloaded, so consider this in how many links you send home at once. Sending home a list of links with Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday like this might be a little bit much for them to be like, oh, this is too much right now. So maybe send it home and only with Monday. Monday, watch this link or join this link at this time. And open this worksheet or something. So remember this. We're overwhelmed. You guys are all. I'm not a teacher anymore. I'm B&M teacher, brick and mortar teacher anymore. So I'm not overwhelmed by it. but you guys are overwhelmed and you're like, I have it done. I'm just getting it out there because I have it done. Maybe not do that. Okay. Really think about, I've had a couple of friends from high school that I've literally not talked to for like 20 years now, who have said, I don't know what I'm going to do. My kids are at home and I have to teach them. Like, no, you don't have to teach them. You just have to help them be organized. So if you break it down enough for the kid to be able to do it on their own, like Monday, this is what you need to do, maybe it's bullet points. Watch this, do this, do this, and then put some, more words under each bullet point or something, but that's what they need. These parents, they're still at work, or they're maybe trying to work from home. It's hard, okay? Maybe you have kids at home, so you understand it too. So make it as easy as possible for them. And sending home a bunch of links all at once maybe isn't the best format for them. All right, so we've made an account. We have made decisions, and now it's time to Zoom. Yay! What questions do we have? That's a scary laugh. What does that mean? Did we answer questions, or did that not answer questions?
Oh, no, it's answered plenty of questions. I just know when I try to set up my first one, that's when the questions will come.
Awesome. Post them, because we are up at all hours. We teach the admin team, we teach Chinese students. So we're up during the day with our families and stuff.
With VIP kids.
Yeah. So you understand, we are up at all hours. Post something and someone will likely be there. There's also a bunch of VIP kid teachers in the group who can also help with that. So, and other just helpful people. So type whatever you.
There's a few questions in the chat box.
Okay.
Jackie.
So that was me actually that asked that. For using Google Slides, when you set it up and then you you don't have it maximized because it takes over your whole computer and you can't get out. Well, that's what happened to me anyway. And so then you come back here and then you share the screen and then you go back and make it big.
All right. So
this is the part I couldn't figure out.
All right. So
I have one called up. So.
All right. Let me do a screen share of just my screen. And I'm going to get out of this. Okay. To get out of it, to make it smaller after you've made it big, you could just click this little button down here.
Yeah.
Or you can click escape. And so I am going to actually make this smaller. And I have a second screen over here. I'm going to drag over another slide that I had open. So here I have another slide open.
Right.
So I have it's just open now. So what is your question?
So we're trying to get rid of the URL and the other stuff that's on the picture, and I just want the picture of the slide.
Okay.
But if I maximize it, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So that's where you go down to this square right here for full screen.
Right.
And there.
Yeah, but then how do I get back? You
can hit escape, or if you see this down at the bottom of the screen, it's like an inverted square thing.
Yeah.
Down at the bottom right here. And then it gets out. So now you can see the URL and everything else.
Right.
And you can minimize and you can see whatever you want on the screen.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to practice this on some unsuspecting friend.
Well, you can also turn on your computer and your laptop, or computer and your phone, and you can see what the participants see. See, like I have my laptop also open. So like I can see what you guys see. Ooh, my background is picking it up.
It's picking up this is green screen. Yeah.
But this is what I can see that you see when I'm zooming. I recommend, if you are able, to have a second thing open so you know what the kids can see.
Right.
Just because you'll get confused. You will. I get confused, and I've used it a million times. So it's something to consider for sure. All right, what else do we have in the chat? Yeah, make sure you have the slides in preview mode for sure. Can you do a pip on your window? You cannot do a pip on your window in Zoom unless you are using webcam software. I can certainly do it if I am using ManyCam or OBS or CamTwist or something like that, but that is not 101. So we are not going to cover those today. When I'm using this in other locations, not in this Zoom meeting, I'm using ManyCam, and I can do a pip. I can throw things up on my screen like stars in all the corners. I can, you know, make my face bulge. I can do all sorts of really fun things. But again, that is webcam software that you don't need if you're just using Zoom. Also, Zoom and webcam software sometimes like argue with each other and make your computer lag. So if you don't need to use it, don't. Because yeah, I see Karen right there. She's throwing some stuff up. What are you using right now? Do you have OBS? OBS? So she's got OBS going, which is a webcam software. She's throwing some things up on her video feed because that's what webcam software does. It's super fun. But if you haven't mastered Zoom and basic, I cannot stress this enough. Master one thing at a time and then move gradually up to it. Okay. Since this is being recorded, will this be able to watch later? I'd be interested in showing this to colleagues. Absolutely. Yeah, get them, ask them to join the group because then they can ask their own questions and you don't have to be the middle person. But yeah, we're doing this so we can help. Was that all of the questions in chat?
When you share, or when you don't share your screen and it's just you big, what do you do to go back to that?
Stop share. So go up to your toolbar that pops down and just hit stop share.
Stop share. Okay, and then it sees you big.
Yes.
Because most likely when I use it, I will use my webcam software and show the Google Slides behind me big.
So I will tell you right now, it gets confusing. So make sure you have practiced it a bit.
Oh yes.
So when I use ManyCam, like I'm usually doing a ManyCam Zoom. Like I'm teaching people how to use ManyCam. So I'm using ManyCam and Zoom and then teaching how to ManyCam and using my different video feeds and stuff. Practice that. Because I've done it 1,000 times and it's still, I'm still like, what do you guys see? Make sure you practice that.
The idea about logging in on a separate device, that I love that.
Yes, that's key for me because I get confused easily. So what else do you have? Anything else?
Actually, do you use two screens, like two monitors?
I do, but only because I can. I don't have to. You don't have to. I use one, like when I'm teaching with VIP Kid, I have one screen that I use everything for. I have like Facebook and other stuff that I just randomly got open on my other screen, but for teaching, I'm literally only using the one screen. Claudia is pipping. Where's Claudia? Oh, there you are. You are. Pip is picture in picture, by the way. She's doing a picture in picture on with CamTwist right now, another webcam software. CamTwist is recommended for Mac users. ManyCam is recommended for PC users. And OBS is is totally free, and it's right now only for PC users. All right. Anything else? Oh, I didn't mention this, but I'm wearing headphones and something with a microphone on it. And I've also got a mute ability. It's a great thing, by the way. You should, if you are planning on doing a lot of recording one-on-one or with classes, however you're doing it, if you are able to purchase like a $20 headset with a mute button, highly recommended. I just sneezed and you didn't hear it. All right, well, if we don't have any other questions, I am going to go ahead and go for now. Please please type your questions in the feed, and that garners more conversation and more ideas that teachers are doing. I know I don't do everything that teachers are going to be doing, and so, teachers just in general are creative and great. So let's collaborate, share what you're doing, and figure this all out. All right, thank you so much. Thanks, Claudia. Thanks, everyone. Bye.